been, cause I got something to prove.
Well, welcome back. It's been like a week since I've been out here. If you can't tell, I got a stylish new knee accessory. Yeah, my knee's jacked up. So I got to wear this brace, and I got physical therapy on Tuesday before they can do an MRI to see why my leg is killing me. Anywho, what I'm going to be doing now is I am going to move the motor out of the way. The 4L80E is pretty much junk. I'm going to have to find something else, probably a 4L60E, unless I come into some more money to buy a 4L80E, which is $800. Anywho, I'm going to move the engine. I'm going to move the engine out of the way. I'm going to pretty much dump this trans somewhere just to get it out of my way. Because I'll keep it for parts. You never know. If I do come across another one, I'll have parts. Doubtful I'll ever get into another one. But I'll have this stuff, and if anybody asks me if I have any stuff, I'll have some stuff. Anywho, after we get this stuff cleaned up, I'm going to work on the compressor. What it is I've got like a wheel this big on here, and I need a 5.6 inch for that specific motor. That's why my belt keeps slipping and burning. So gonna fix that to where my compressor's working good. Yeah, this is all got to get cleaned up. I need to pull the engine out of the way, and then after I get everything cleaned and my compressor fixed, I'm gonna work on getting the travel all in here. We'll push the frame out in front of my other garage door, and we'll get the travel all moved into here and start tearing it apart. Well, not tearing it apart. We're just going to basically unbolt the body and lift it up. And the reason I want to do that is because just out of curiosity, if it happens to actually slip on here, I don't think it will, but just out of curiosity, if it does, you know, we'll be good to go and start moving forward. But if it don't, then I'll know exactly where I need to cut. I'll know if I need to shorten. And I'll know if my floor pan will work in this situation. Because if it don't, then what I'll have to do is I'll have to use the floor out of there and the back half off of the caprice floor to where it molds all of this. And then I'll have to make a floor section in between here and wherever the front seat lands on the Travelall. But it's all moving forward. I need to invent a plug for this also. They don't make a plug, and what I mean plug, I mean like a plug that screws into the side or bolts onto the side. Times when I wish I had a 3D printer to have me one printed and bolted in there would be awesome, but I don't. But yeah, because I don't need that anymore. That's part of the ABS system. Don't need it. What do you want? In the house.
No, she ain't.
Yeah, she is. Then she's sitting on the front step smoking. Kids are retarded. I'm telling you. Oh, God. But yeah. I have the 700R4 sold. So that's going to help pay for the other transmission if I buy another one. Or if I trade and keep a 4L60E. But the problem is my harness, my engine harness that I already have, is for a 4L80E. And there's really no info on back doing it. You know, going backwards from an 80E to a 60E. So, I still kind of want an 80E just so where it's bulletproof. I already have the adapter right here. This is an eBay adapter. Let me show you. I think I already showed it, but yeah. Do it again. Did I even open the box? I didn't even open it. Okay. But that's the, what is it? It's 3/8 of an inch thick. It bolts on behind the flex plate, flywheel, whatever you want to call it. For the snout's longer, or not the snout, but the crank is longer on a 6.0, which is what you'll always find a 4L80E behind. Well, not always, but most of the time. Yeah, so basically it's just cleanup time and then move time. But let's continue forward. I need to get on the ball.
Gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do, well I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest.
See, when you're not seeing me, I'm actually working on other people's stuff. So yeah, international 400 small block with what we believe to be a turbo 350, because it does have a kickdown cable and it has a modulator valve. So yeah, anywho, we fired it up earlier today, and now I get to do the real fun stuff. Yeah, this ain't spaghetti. Putting a whole new harness, not a harness, oh yeah, it's a wiring harness, putting a whole new wiring harness in it. This is actually from Haywire, and let me tell you what, this thing has everything. It comes with your plugs for your high beam switch, your neutral safeties, everything. It comes with everything. This all comes as this kit. New ignition switch, it's down there on the floor. New headlight switch, new high beam switch, all new in this kit. It's an amazing kit. Came with the truck. Never heard of Haywire before, but definitely going to be looking them up, because this is a quality fuse box. Here, look at this. It comes with electric fan, horn, everything, flashers. So that's what I'm working on right now, getting this baby put in here. Well, right now I'm stripping out all the old wire, because what's the point? It's old, like coated. Here was the fuse. It's not even a fuse box. It's the power bank. Yeah. Okay. Antique. Don't need that garbage anymore. But you can see the kind of wiring. It's old school, like real old, original to the truck. We are getting new windows, windshield, but all of this is getting took out. All of it's getting redone. We are actually, he went a little ham this morning, because this thing's sitting on an S10 frame and it fits extremely well. We already have a factory, not a factory, I call them a boat tank, but you know, the eBay aluminum tanks we're going to put under the bed. Done and done. He just ordered a single wire alternator, HEI, 4-barrel intake. We already have a carb and some new valve covers for this, and new wires, of course, because wires on this won't work. Your point style wires will not work on an HEI distributor. Don't do that. I've already put on the trans lines, bolted them up. They weren't bolted on at all. That was a pain. I need to figure out lower radiator hoses, upper radiator hoses, and all that again is going to be different when we change intake. So right now, wiring, then when we get the performance stuff here, take all that out. Right now, let's get this wiring off of the coil, get that junk out of there. So while I'm doing the wiring on the International today, it's a different day. I got most of the wiring ran. I'll show you. This is what Jeff and CJ were doing yesterday. He put a satin clear on his Travelall. This is a 55, I believe, or 54. The only difference is literally from here back is all the same as mine. Just the front end's different. That's the only difference. Mine's the Catfish. This is not. But yeah, he's got some things I don't like on it, but it's his. But they put the satin clear to it yesterday. Looks good. But yeah, this is on a Dodge Durango, by the way. I'm not sure if this is the 318 or 360. I'm pretty sure it's the 318. Sorry, my throat's a little burnt today. Yep. But yeah, 4-seater, like mine's gonna be. I'm pretty sure they didn't use the floor from the Durango in this. Maybe they did, I'm not sure. Yep, got a single sub in here, pre-powered. Speakers, you know, pretty good setup. Me, not a fan of the wood. Mine actually has a step down, it don't even come out that, or mine comes out further than this. But about the same. Mine's a bifold door in the back. Slam the fire out. Mine opens up this way and then down, so it's different than this too. But let's go back out here to the truck. I ran a lot of the wiring on it yesterday. The fuse box is bolted in up under here. All the wires go this way, and instead of splitting them, because they used to come out, it was lights and stuff came out this way, engine stuff came out that way. I took everything out this one grommet right here to make it a little cleaner. Went and got all my lumen stuff. But yeah, everything out here. This is main power and your starter solenoid, headlights, engine management, and the taillight harness runs down through there already. I already got it ran. Actually got it out right here for now. But getting ready to loom all this up. I'm probably not going to hook it up to the engine right now because he ordered a new distributor and everything like that. So what's the point? Everything else though, I'll probably hook up as far as like, well, I can't even hook up the temp sensor because the temp sensor is going to be on the intake. Oil pressure I can because it's right here. I can hook it up. I got the ends for it, but the temp sensor and stuff like that, there's no point in hooking up right now because it's going to get, you know, on the intake and whatnot. I don't know if it's carburetor. Good thing I need to go look at the carburetor. I need to see if it's a spread bore or square bore, and then we need to order the right intake. And yeah, all the sensors will be different. It's getting HEI, so that all's going away, going to be different. I hooked up the trans lines yesterday. What else did I do yesterday? That's about it. Just trying to fiddle around and run all these wires right is tough. It takes a while, but I'm going to get back to work now.
Never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know.
So yeah, plans have changed again. The lemans is in now because fuel tank, I need to fix the back trunk floor. I need to do a tune-up, oil change, clean the carburetor. But anyway, the reason I'm doing this is in June, Hot Rod Power Tour. So I'm trying to do the Power Tour this year. It's in Kentucky. It's going Bowling Green, Lebanon, Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky, and that's probably where I'll end my trip. But then it continues on to Ohio and Indiana. But anyway, I'd like to get this thing tip-top. I know the carburetor seems to be overloading, and it is wicked dirty, so I'm going to fix that. Clean it real good. This has a stupid fuel cell somebody put in it. I hate it. It only holds like 10 gallons. I don't like it at all. So I'm going to take it out, and unfortunately they cut a hole in the floor for the bottom to hang down. If you could see it. I'm sorry, I'm sick. I don't want to get in the floor right now. And while I'm here, I'm going to fix them holes. There's a hole up there, and a hole over here, and of course the hole they cut for the tank. I am going to keep the fuel lines and stuff that are on it. I'll just adapt the fuel sending unit to pick it up from a dash 10 to the 3/8 hard line. Put it on there. Why they got a dash 10 on this car, I don't know. They must have already had it because dash 10 for a 350 Pontiac with a 4-barrel, you don't need that much gas. Not at all. There's probably 2 gallons in the fuel line on this car. Wicked loud pump, but yeah. So it's already got the regulator and everything. That stuff's fine. I want to keep it that way. Just back here, probably going to have to move the pump forward and put the end to the tank, adapt it to the end of the pickup, which I don't have yet. It won't be here till next Wednesday, when this was supposed to be here. I ordered this from O'Reilly's. Now, here's where I get to tell you a great, awesome thing. This is a Holley Sniper tank. It is exactly the same as a regular tank, but this tank's $149. The regular replacement tanks from O'Reilly's are $189. The tanks online are $178, and Rock Auto is like $140, but then it's $140 to ship it. So for $150, you can have it delivered to O'Reilly's and get it. And it's made by Holley. It's already E-coated on the outside. It's good to go. Awesome. So I got one of them. It's done. Spending a bunch of money just trying to make it to where it's, you know, super dependable. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to get an aluminum radiator or an aluminum radiator with fans. I know I don't like this radiator just for the simple fact that it's old. It's probably still a brass radiator, and I don't want it. I prefer to have an aluminum. And now while I'm in here, let me see here. Oh, it did have the water outlets, and somebody just plugged them. There's another good reason to swap this radiator. So yeah, this radiator is definitely getting swapped. I might keep the mechanical fan because it never fails you, and run the aluminum with this. So probably order one tonight. And what else has to be done? Oh, I'm going to try to put that center speaker in. It's going to be a nightmare. It does need to go in, and I need to order an amp kit for my under seat sub that I'm going to put in. I know somebody's like, a sub in an old car. I like to listen to music while I drive. You know, it makes everything better. And just that little extra bump of bass just, you know, helps everything. Hey, Big Cat, what are you doing? You come out here to get all over my car like you usually do? But that's what I'm working on now. I gotta go plant my cherry tree real quick. And yeah, we'll get started on this as soon as the rest of the parts go. What? What's up? What are you doing? That's a mechanic cat. He loves cars. He's always in here. But I'm off to get some work done. Alright, so I'm pulling the carb because it really needs cleaned. It's, I mean, ridiculously dirty. Things I don't know about this motor, you know. I don't know how long this carburetor's been on here. I don't know if it was bought new and put on here. I don't know if, you know, anything about it, really. I traded for it and drove it. That's about it. But I know that that carburetor's disgusting. I know it acts like it floods sometimes. I know this isn't, you know, going to work for me. I don't know when the last time I had an oil change was. I'm not even 100% sure this is a 4-barrel carburetor or a 4-barrel intake. You know, these are the things I don't know. So I need to take this off. I need to soak it in some carb cleaner, get it really nice and clean. Find some actual caps for these. You know, like the blue one on there. Come on, get off there. Don't drop it in the carburetor. But yeah, I gotta pull this, all this linkage and stuff off, which this is the good linkage, so it's just to pop it back. Well, this one might be straight off. Yep, straight off. No kick down again, of course, modulator valve, transmission. Leave that there. Is this part of the intake? Yep. Okay, so that's gonna come off. The T for the brake booster's gotta come off. Let me run over to the other side. I gotta pull the fuel line off. And yeah, just basically gonna soak her down with some carb clean. Make sure it's, you know, halfway decent. Worst comes to worst, I got some Chem Dip. That stuff is beyond strong. I put that in a Holley I had and ate all the chrome off of it. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I gotta pull that junk and I gotta pull all this fuel line off real quick. But I'll show you guys after I get it off. Yeah, so you can really see how nasty that thing is. I mean, it's terribly dirty. What I like to do is I usually will clean them with, you know, carb cleaner, brake parts cleaner. It's all the same junk. Clean it, and then after I'm done, I'll spray the outside of it with lube. In my case, it'd be PB Blaster, which there is no PB. It's just Blaster. I saw that the other day. Mandela effect. No, it's not. There was PB before. But anyway, I'm going to clean this real good and heavy. Make sure everything's halfway decent. And, yeah, spray down some lube. Make sure all the linkages are working and functioning right. Which I know they are because I drove the car. I have been driving the car, so, yeah. I just want it to be clean because it don't feel like it's idling right. And it didn't do that until after it sat for the winter, so I'll get it clean, put it back on, tune up. Who knows how long it's been since it's got a tune up, so it definitely needs it. Just because I don't know how long it's been. I don't know how long the oil's been in there. I don't know what kind of filter's on it. Must change it all. Dang, that thing was pretty freaking dirty. I mean, it's actually, like, polished. But it was that dirty. I'm going to let it sit now. I don't need it right now. But I think I might need another can of carb cleaner beforehand and hit it again. That's how bad it is. I'm not sure. I don't want to say it because I don't want to do it. But it probably needs, you know what I'm talking about. I've never had any luck yet. Well, I rebuild them fine. It's just, the carburetors I've been getting lately have been junk. And, just because I didn't want to buy new ones. I know this one's good because it ran pretty good. It did have a vacuum leak on the bottom. I could tell that. It was let me see if I can find it. Show it to you. Alright, this end right here. There was black all around it. So where it's been sucking in through there and making a vacuum leak. So probably need to rebuild that. I'll look into a kit for it. I'm probably sure they're like $20. It's Edelbrock after all. They're cheap. But yeah, it's a lot cleaner now than it was, but I think it still needs clean more. Probably real deep clean, to be honest with you. But let's move on and start doing plugs on the lemans. Alright, I got the carburetor wicked clean, and I actually took this to O'Reilly's where I don't hang out there, but we all talk and stuff like that. But as far as any of us can tell, this is probably from the 80s, this gasket is. I mean, it's let me see if I can't focus. Like, yeah, you can still see it's like fabric almost, but it's, I think it's cardboard. Could be like cardboard impregnated fabric, I don't know. It's bad though, it's wicked bad. Anywho, garbage. This is a chromatic gasket, just a basic gasket, nothing special. And I got one to actually fit the, cross hatches where it comes together on this carb, the actual 4-barrel. And this is probably a factory style 4-barrel, as in probably came off of a 400 or something, because the 350s did not have 4 barrels. So what is that? Well, anywho, yep. Now we're gonna get this baby back on. Baby back. There we go. Let me check, make sure I'm right. Yep. Okay, so that's gonna have to get bolted back on now. And I'll hook up all the vacuum lines to it. Sorry, my camera work sucks. It's kind of hard to do, see what you're doing and record at the same time. All the YouTube and TikTok guys can tell you. But yeah, it's pretty hard. But I'm going to get these bolts back on. And after I get it all back together, I'll cut you back on. I don't need to tune it or anything. I'm probably going to turn the gas down a little bit on it. But, yeah. Well, I'm going to run it first, see how it is, because it was nasty. It's probably 10 times better now. Alrighty, just finishing up. Tightening that. Got all of our vacuums back on. Got our electronic choke hooked up. We got our modulator valve for our transmission on. Brake booster, and actually this is vacuum controlled wipers, which is crazy. But I hate this right here. I don't know if they make something different from that could just clean that up a little bit. I'm going to research that.
But it's time to start it. See what it does. Alright, we're running at 5 psi on the fuel pressure. Its electronic choke's kicked on. It's running good, but I can still hear the miss. So now it's time to do plugs, cap, and button. The wires are still good. Definitely still got a miss I want to get rid of. I bought, actually on closeout sale on Rock Auto, I got E3 diamond fires. All of this stuff was cheaper than just buying spark plugs local. So yeah, nice. I paid $33 for this on Rock Auto. But let's cut it off, let it cool down, and we'll come back out and work on the tune-up. It is going to be too hot now to touch. But the carburetor definitely feels better. It feels more poppy, more responsive, you know. So we'll be good with that, and we'll do tune-up. Alright, so we're sort of getting into the business of knowing what you're looking at here when you do stuff like this. So I pulled number 1. The plugs in here are actually already E3 diamond fires, which are awesome. And what I was thinking was, man, this thing's fouled out. What's up, Big Cat? Yeah, I'm coming. I'll let you in. Big Cat wants in. He's a garage cat. Come on, buddy. So anyway, before Big Cat, messed me up here, this is plug number B3, and it is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. 1 was soaking wet, which means 1 wasn't getting any fire. Yeah, you're gonna look what you're doing. You're getting paw prints all over my car, man. Get down. But this plug is fine. I'm still gonna hit it with a wire wheel like I did number 1. But now I know number 1 is not hitting. And therefore, that's my miss. Could be my wires. No, you're gonna close the hood on me, man. You're gonna close the hood on me. You're getting on my nerves. But I'm gonna clean this one, put it right back in. But what I know is when I do start it again, I need to check this one for fire, because it probably don't have any. And any other ones like that too. But I'm still gonna put caps and button on it for sure. But plugs, these are like brand new. Literally brand new. But let's get back to it. Alright, so basic tune-up here. And we already know that front plug was fouled, probably because it's not hitting right. Which we know it has a miss. So what I got to do now is I'm pulling this one out. These plugs that are in here are the E3 diamond fires that I just bought. Like, I just bought a new set. But this set is perfectly fine. Because I think it's all to do with the number 1. Well, on the Pontiac, is Pontiac number 1 on my side, driver's side? And number 2 over there? Because that would make sense. It spins counterclockwise. So that might be number 2 over there. Yeah, again, this one. It's fouled, of course, but it's not bad. Is that broke? Hold on a second here. Is that broke? No, it's just really fouled. But they're like brand new. Focus. Yeah, they're like brand new. So again, gonna clean this. And the only thing you can really do is, unless you got one of them fancy spark plug cleaners that are, have shot beads in them, and you put the tip in, it cleans them. I just wire wheel them. Most times that works. Or these are the diamond fires. It's a little harder to get into there, so you just got to sort of clean whatever you can. Just to try to get it halfway decent. Go at different angles at it. This side I can definitely get pretty clean. The other sides are a little bit more not going to happen. But that one side will definitely make a difference.
Yep. Take a look at that now. Focus. Yeah. See? A lot cleaner. And I'm also going to hit it with some carb cleaner before I put it back in there, down into the hole here, to push out anything that's in there. Let me do that real quick. I can't do it one-handed. So they're halfway decently cleaned. Focus. They're way better than what they were. I still don't think I need new plugs because, I mean, these are like brand new. The simple fact was they were fouled out from what I believe to be the carburetor is opened up a little too much. Carburetors are super finicky. It's not fuel injection that don't auto-tune. You have to tune it yourself if you don't own a carbureted car. And there is people out there that are just, I mean, masters at it. They make carburetors run as good as EFI stuff. I mean, literally. So, now just move on to the next one. Do one at a time so you don't lose your firing order. These are a little bit hard to fire right, but we're getting it. One piece at a time, and if it needs points, I'll be honest with you right now. If it needs points, I'm getting a new distributor. I'll get an HEI distributor. Points for this are $30. A whole new distributor, HEI, ready to drop in, is $80. I mean, come on. So, not really worried about it right now. Well, it's $129 with wires, but anyway, I think this will solve a lot of it. Just changing the cap and button and cleaning these spark plugs. And figuring out, well, that one's probably not firing because the cap and button's bad. Alright, so I have all the plugs done except for one, which I'm going to show you right here in a second. But what do we know? We know this one had gas on it. I know 2 had gas on it, or whatever one it is. That could be 1 and 3, because these do spin counterclockwise on the distributor. So that could be 1 and then 2, or 1 and then 3 over there. I'm not sure. But check this out. This was the last one on the driver's side. Can you tell me something about this? Well, if you notice, this is black all the way to here. It's a lot of it's come off of my hands, but it's black all the way to there. That's because this plug wasn't even tight. So that's exhaust fumes getting past it. Let's clean this one up now and put it back in. Tight this time. Now that all the plugs are done, the next step is going to be to remove the cap. This is the cap. That's the rotor button. They're back there. That's what your wires go onto. And guess what? Never pull your wires all off that cap. Golden rule is, because nobody knows the last guy and how he did his number 1. So number 1 might not actually be pointing toward number 1. Number 1 could be pointing toward the firewall. You don't know. You can put that distributor in a bunch of different ways. Well, in this case, this one only goes in front and back. Dodges, you can put them in any direction. They're crazy like that. But this one, you definitely want to make sure, GM, you don't pull them wires off until you get your cap ready to go. Now that I look at it, I think I see a number 1 on the side of that, which is weird because it's in between. I don't know if that's a number 1 or just, man, that thing's pointing way toward me. Anywho, let's pull this cap off here and we'll get ready to swap out the button. Well, I just got a presently good surprise, and that is the fact that this has been upgraded already with probably a Protronics or something like that distributor. Not distributor, but the points. It doesn't have points on it, which is like, yay. Let's see here. So if you look, yeah, this doesn't have anything on it. It's an upgraded ignition. Sweet. But I do see a lot of this red dust, and I don't know what it is. If you look at that, see all that red dust? No clue what that was, or what it is. I don't know what it is. How's this? The inside of this too. Yeah, this has got the dust all in it. The cap looks fairly good. I'll change it anyway. But what is all this red dust? And why am I missing? Why am I not hitting on all cylinders? Okie dokie, I don't know. I think I might
spray that stuff off with some brake clean, and we'll change it out, the cap and stuff. But I don't know what the red dust is all over everything back there. Focus. Then you can see the new upgraded ignition too. So I might take a look online, see if it says what that is, and go from there. Maybe they'll tell me what that red dust or whatever is. Well, while I'm waiting for the brake clean to dry, you can take a good look here and see how corroded and nasty that is. That's toast. And if you look in here, each one of the individual fingers that are hitting are also dug into and bad. So it probably wasn't getting a good arc across there. But I think I'm going to let it dry tonight to where I ain't got to open my doors and everything. The inside of the distributor where I sprayed off all this red dust. And you know, my dad had a good idea. Or not a good idea, but a good answer to that. Where they probably painted the car. This is probably red oxide primer. It even could have been on like the distributor or something when they painted whatever, you know, and it got sucked into there. But yep, that's probably what it is. I hope this ain't some sort of special cap with this on there that fires that electronic ignition, because if it is, then I'll have to find that. But or special button, but the cap's nothing special. So I might just, yeah, I'm going to wait till the morning and then I'll fire it to see if everything's working good. I made sure all the plugs went back where they were, or the wires. But I'm going to let that dry out for tonight. Try to get my mechanic cat out of here. And yeah, we'll check you guys tomorrow. Finish this video up. Well, I got the tune-up all done last night. I'm going to close this little latch right here on this distributor. I had it open just to where all the carb clean can come out of there. Brake clean's the same crap. I'm going to start it, see if them plugs, cleaning them and doing the cap and button changed how it runs. Hopefully it did, because it was definitely missing before. It's going to be super loud. I need to open my garage door real quick. Just to let some of these exhaust fumes out. It's really cold today. Literally, it dropped to 47 and it was in the 50s, 60s. Squeeze me. It's supposed to be in the 70s next week, but a couple pumps. Key on. Give it a second. Gotta let it warm up. Does still sound like it's missing. Actually, it sounds like it might be missing worse now. It might be well, I don't know. Straightening out. You can see the smoke from fumes. God, I can feel that fan right here. I was going to put electric fans on it, but maybe now I'm just going to put on aluminum radiator. Nah, I don't think it's missing. Well, no. I feel a slight miss in it still. Might need a set of plug wires. Let's let it warm up a little bit more. Still smell like it's overloading hardcore. Where's my light at? Get my light here. Now remember, it was missing on this one and the second one back. So I don't think I actually have a plug tester.
Now before you tune these, you need to let them warm up. But yep, sounds like it's starting to get warm now. And if you don't know about carburetors, what's happening is there's a spring in here, and as it warms up, it opens up. Or, yeah, it opens up. And it opens this butterfly right here. And that's what gets you your choke. So, it's definitely overloading. The hard part is right now, the exhaust fell off of the driver's side, so it don't sound the same, so it's hard for me to tell by ear. I don't know, it still sounds like it's missing. It is. It's still missing. Let me get a glove here. Let me open my doors here. My eyes are burning. So them plugs are hitting. I just tested it. What you do is I put a glove on, you pull the plug off. The car dies when I pull any of them off. So what I actually think it is when the car gets warm, it's idling too low. So I need to turn the idle screw up, and I need to turn my my electronic choke down. And what it is there's a little mark right here. Usually I don't like them advanced that much. If you can hear me, I don't like them advanced that much. I like them either right on or one back. So I think that's what the problem is. The idle needs turned up when it's sitting, and the choke needs turned down so it don't take as long to fire up. So I'm adjusting the idle screw right here. That sounds a lot better. So I think the choke, electronic choke, needs to be turned back a little bit too. Again, I'm not going to drive this car a lot in the winter time, and it's only cold today, so that choke don't need to stay on as long. And this, when you have that choke turned forward more toward the front of the car, choke stays on longer. So I'll adjust that real quick after I find out what size it is and turn it back, and I think we'll be good to go. So we got her all tuned up, fixed the choke, not fixed it, turned it back, set the throttle or the idle screw up a little bit to where it idles right. Probably still needs to go up just a hair. Adjusted the fuel because it felt like it was, dumping gas in it. Got the carburetor air cleaner back on. I need to get a 14-inch air cleaner for it. Just measured up the radiator, made sure it was the right one that I'm getting ready to order. With the amp kit that I need for my under seat sub. I know somebody's like, a sub in this. I know. I like subs, in these that are tastefully done. In my case, I don't want to do a trunk sub, so I'm just going to put one underneath the passenger seat right here, to hook to the stereo. It's just a little extra bump. Tomorrow, however, it's going to be a torture day. Sunday, it's going to be warm again. I got to change that center speaker. Got to pull the stereo and probably even the heat and AC switch.
Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this